Hi, welcome to Let's Talk About Love Stories from Everywhere. I'm your host, Jill Ferguson, and today I have a guest with me from Vancouver, Canada, Ranbir Puar. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. Hi, Jill. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. What's your weather like up there today?
It is raining. They tend to call
Oh,
Vancouver Raincouver this time of the year.
yeah,
And the days are they're getting shorter and shorter. So it's pretty dark. And pretty soon it'll be dark at 4-ish
yeah.
p.m. So yeah, it's fun times.
I used to live in Seattle, actually. I lived in
So
Seattle twice in my life, and it has very similar weather to there,
yeah.
but I feel like maybe you get just this much more sunshine. But I
Yeah,
could be
I
wrong.
haven't lived in Seattle, so I'm not able to give a honest comparison. But I've stayed this long because there's beauty here, so we get hooked.
So how long have you lived there?
I have lived in Vancouver since I started university when I was 18 years old. So I
Okay.
moved to go to UBC, and then I never moved back home. I'm a free bird,
And
and
where is home was home?
I grew up in a town called Nanaimo on Vancouver Island.
Okay.
And just before that, up until I was about 6, we lived in the interior of British Columbia in a town called, well, a couple of towns, Radium Hot Springs and Golden, BC. So,
Okay. So
yeah.
you've been mostly in Western Canada though.
Yes, only. Well, that's not true, actually. The first just about 2 years of my life were in India that I don't remember because I was born there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have you been back to visit
One
India?
time when I was
Okay.
6, and we
Oh.
never went again.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was very empathetic as a child, so I found it very stressful, and my mom took my brother and I there because my brother was born in Canada, so her mom and siblings had never met him. So the 3 of us went on a trip to India, and for me, I started giving my, like, clothing to the kids because they were asking. I started bringing the dogs to my nanny, which is my grandma's house, and then eventually she just said, "Got us some chickens," and tried to keep us away from bringing her all the stray dogs, which is quite an issue there. So
How long were you there?
a couple of months,
Okay.
and that did my mother, and she never went again. I
Yeah.
think I do sometimes feel badly about it, but I'm wired. I guess I'm wired that way, and it was very stressful.
Yeah. Did you know you were empathic from childhood on, or was there a time where you kind of fought against it?
Um, I think I've always been. I actually have two very distinct versions of me that show up when there's a genuine issue there. I'm very soft, but then I'm tough as nails too. So I'm internally very, like, as I'm athletic, I love playing sports and team sports in particular. So I can get her done and I can push and push and push. But when there's a genuine hurt,
Yeah.
then I can feel that in my body, or
Mhm.
and then the empath comes through.
Yeah.
But I've had to learn how to, I call it, gas and brake, the
Yeah.
empath. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Because as empaths, I know you and I have talked previously, and I'm like a giant sponge, um, and so you have to learn to be able to let things pass through you, as opposed to hold on to the energy
hmm,
surrounding the things that are affecting you, right?
absolutely,
Um, and if you don't, then it causes disease in your own body
absolutely.
and a lot of distress. Yeah.
And I've also learned to actually put it at an arm's length.
Mhm.
There's a theory that you're at first position, you're in the story, second
Yeah.
position, you're part of it, and third is being the observer. So I've begun that practice, I think, probably after becoming a mom, where I need to save my resources for my babies. So I can't be giving out, all my energetic energy this way. So that has helped me by trying to look at it from the observer position and saying, how can I genuinely offer support
Mhm.
or tools or resources?
Mhm.
Otherwise, then we're done.
Well, and there's so many needs, so many places, pretty
Yes,
much everywhere, right?
ab-
All different kinds of needs. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you studied political science and at university,
I
right?
did.
Got a degree in that. Did you do anything relevant to that degree when you graduated?
I went into broadcast journalism because I thought I would
Oh,
make documentaries.
yeah.
And and luckily enough, I have the voice, and I was able to get a job at a news station right away while I was in school, and I actually had a radio job while I was in school. And then it dawned on me that what I imagined it would be, it was not, and I didn't feel comfortable. And I don't mean any offense to anybody in the industry, but at that period of time, it was very much listening. It was reporting bad news, and
Yeah.
I felt like a bit of an ambulance chaser, and I felt like, oh, we have to sell this story, and it that was surprising to me because I was young, right? So you get a wake up call, and then I realized that I didn't think that that was for me, and I moved out of it and moved into more of business development and learning about that world and software, and that was more suited to me because I wasn't making documentaries. Maybe if I was making them, I would have been there a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what kind of software did you ever
Oh
handle?
gosh,
Yeah.
that's like another lifetime ago. We did financial software. There was financial processing. So just lots of different variety. And I traveled a lot. And then when had got
Throughout
pregnant,
Canada or all over the place?
U.S. I spent a
Okay.
lot of time in the U.S. A lot of boardrooms in the U.S.
Yeah.
And so more time in the US probably than Canada, maybe Toronto, but other
Mhm.
than that, mainly US. But then when I got pregnant with Isaac and had Isaac, I remember writing the strategic plan for the next year just after having a baby at home. And they were planning trips for me for New York. And then I decided to take a maternity leave and I never went back.
Nice.
Yeah.
So did you become a full-time mom or did you end up doing something else?
I did for when yeah, I was definitely. I
I mean,
started
not that
doing
when you work, you're not a full-time mom because you are. I mean, most
absolutely.
women do
Yeah,
all kinds of different full-time things simultaneously, right? Yeah,
absolutely. No, I was hesitating because
yeah.
there's so many layers to it. But when I had Isaac, I just looked in his I had no idea what it would feel like to be a mom. And that kind of like I love my family, I love my husband, but oh my gosh, like it blew my socks off. And there was just something about being a mom that landed for me in a way again unexpected, and I just needed to focus on that.
Mhm.
And and it also was the most healing journey for me because when I looked at him, I knew I didn't want the storms that brewed inside of me to descend upon him.
Wow.
So,
That's a loaded statement, right?
mhm,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So, what could I do for myself where I could be all of that and more for him and for me? So, it was wonderful to be able to rewrite the happy childhood through being a mom.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was really, really unique for me. And then Asher is 3 years younger, so I have 2 boys.
Mhm.
And when he started preschool for those few hours is when I would start writing and doing my work, and I worked when they were in school mostly.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And do you feel like you accomplished what you set out to do with keeping your own storms kind of from them and healing yourself?
And when I say this, and I don't mean this in an egotistical way at all, being their mom and the way that I parented them is the best thing I've ever done in my life,
Mhm.
ever. And I look at them and I get, and the message. I can't even tell you how many people send me selfies with my boys. I'll like see them across town, and I get this. I saw your boy. I saw your boy. One of the two are in the picture. Sometimes both are. But when I look at them and I reflect upon how I raised them, I'm really proud of myself. based on what I started with.
Mhm.
And I'm so, so grateful that I had this chance to heal myself and raise these beautiful humans. So absolutely. That's definitely a W for me.
Yeah. I like it. I'm going to ask about the stars behind you because you
Oh,
mentioned there's you and your husband and two kids. Are they one for each of you, or are they for
that's
something else?
really cool. I never thought about that. Actually, one of my old friends said, I saw these stars in a store in Edgemont. They made me think of you. So I bought them for you. And then she helped me put them up because I have no talent to put that kind of stuff up. I would have to hire somebody or they'd be very crooked. But that's a good way to look at it. I'm gonna say that
And
to
did she
myself.
tell you why they
She
made her
just
remind you?
I think I
Oh,
would like I like the idea of stargazing. I like the idea of infinity. I like the idea of expansiveness.
yeah.
And so I think when she saw the stars, and I'm guessing that she just thought of me.
Mhm.
And at that time, I was having fun. I don't usually wear nail polish, but I had like little stars on my nails, and I have
Aw.
a star water bottle.
Oh,
So
nice. Yeah. Well,
yeah, so
very on
maybe it was
brand there, that
yeah,
water
very
bottle.
on brand. So it might have been they've been there so long that I can't remember, but I just really love the idea of the the infinite nature of what it is that we're experiencing,
Mhm.
and been
So,
fascinated with
you,
it. So
somewhere along the line, you did the software thing, the business
yeah.
thing, the journalism thing, and then you studied hypnotherapy, right?
Well, that came a little later.
Okay.
So when I started doing this work in '09 was actually I don't know if we talked about this before, but was when I had this little friendship with a guy I didn't recognize when I first met him, but it was Wayne Dyer.
Oh,
And so yeah. Right?
yeah.
And
How did
and so
that friendship develop?
well, I ran into him after Asher was born, and
Uh-huh.
Ash was about 5 months old, and we were walking with him, and we went to go check out some condos in Maui. My husband and I, and my sister was with me, so Isaac was napping with her, and we ran into him at the lobby of this building. And I just thought he was one of my husband's clients because he was talking to him, and I'm like, "Oh, is this one of your clients?" He says, "Oh no, this is Wayne Dyer." And I'm like, "Oh, I don't really know who Wayne Dyer is." Then he started talking, and I thought, "Oh my gosh, I know his voice. I know this man's voice." And I'm 5 months postpartum, so
Uh-huh.
got a newborn. I'm nursing, bathing suit cover up, and then I said to
And
him,
pregnancy brain.
"Absolutely, absolutely." And then I said, "Oh my gosh, I think we have one of your CDs." Like I had no idea, like the level of Wayne Dyer at
Mhm.
that point. And I said, I'm going to tell you the truth because clearly I have no filter. I listen and then I can't get to the end because I fall asleep. Your voice is super relaxing. So
Yeah.
I was trying to recover from not knowing who he
Mhm.
was. And he says, "Oh my gosh, can I hug you?" And I thought, "You don't have a shirt on. I don't know you. I have nursing boobs. Like, I don't know about this." And that's kind of like it was just I think he thought that was hilarious that I'm sitting there going, I'm not sure. I got to think about that.
Did you say all these things aloud, or you were just
No,
thinking
no,
them?
but
Okay.
I think he saw me
Yeah.
processing,
Mhm.
and then eventually I did. And then anyway, we'd run into him, and a year later, we were on the beach, and he goes, "Oh, we're talking about something." He goes, "Well, we need to go have a serious talk about this. You need to come out to my apartment." And I thought, "Not alone, I don't." Grab Asher, put him on my hip. I'm just teasing, but
Mhm.
so because Ash was 18 months old at that time, Isaac's playing on the beach, so he takes me up to his apartment, or I go with him to his apartment.
Mhm.
Pardon me, I don't want to
Yeah.
say anything that's not accurate. And we're talking, and he says, "Well, I notice you have this gift," and he asked me why I wasn't using or what I was doing. I said, "I'm going to be a mom," and blah 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 blah. And he says, "Well, you're making excuses."
Oh.
Like, don't you tell me, And so then
Yeah.
I don't know why that
How did you
un,
respond to him in the moment?
I think I made excuses.
Yeah.
I think I did. And then I went home and I started writing. And then it landed for me what he saw that I didn't see. And then I started being able to create formulas and solutions. And it was meditate, write, meditate, write. And
Was it
all of a
more like
sudden,
journaling or what kind
yeah,
of
almost
writing?
like automatic writing,
Yeah.
journaling, putting
Mhm,
together ideas, and systems started coming together for helping people heal,
mhm.
help people heal terminal illness, genetic illness, just from whatever that process was for me. And I wouldn't have been aware of it really if somebody didn't challenge me. Maybe I would have at some point, but definitely not then because I was focused on other things.
So did you write to him and tell him like, "Hey, I thought about what you said," or
I saw him again and then let him know. Yeah. And then what's interesting is that there's some sort of connection, obviously, that he and I have that is bigger than me, because that's how I wouldn't have noticed or known him at all.
Mhm.
And then we were supposed to be in Kauai, but there was a hurricane coming that was going to hit Kauai, and so we quickly got out of there and went to Maui early on a particular trip. And I thought I'm going to walk up and say hi to Wayne I'll go later. And that's actually I was on Maui when he passed away.
Oh, wow.
And I obviously heard the news, like, I
Mhm,
didn't know. It's not like I was close with his family or anything like
mhm.
that, it was a friendship, and so that was interesting to be there as well when that happened, so, some things are unknown to us, right, of
Yeah,
why we're connected to certain people.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and I feel like there's a in some cases, there's a bit of a mantle that gets passed down to somebody,
Mm.
right?
Yeah,
Through friendships, through relationships, through mentorships, through
yeah.
whatever, right? By people speaking what they see over you and
Yes.
you eventually embracing it.
Yeah,
Um, that there's this energy that passes from person to person
yeah, beautifully said.
or from God through person to person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's really fascinating.
Yeah.
So
So
that's how
that
it
sent you to
started.
hypnotherapy school?
No,
Right.
and then I realized that I was doing a lot of what I was doing was hypnotic, and most language is hypnotic, and so then I decided just to study it and do it formally,
Mhm,
and then I've also taken like the other things I do organically are somatic practices, and I'm also in the Dr. Levine's somatic experiencing training as well. Just I'm curious if what I'm doing matches, and it's very
mhm.
aligned. So
So
I
let
love
me
to learn.
that's what I was gonna ask you about the hypnotherapy program you went through. So was it more a validation of what you were already doing was accurate, for lack of a better word?
Yeah.
Or was it you learned new techniques to broaden what you were doing? Or was it some combination thereof?
I would say it's a combination. I've probably still tend to do what I was doing in the beginning because it works really well.
Uh-huh.
Because I tend to blend the mind, the subconscious, and bringing in body stuff and bringing in that creative visualization piece. And
Mhm.
so I think it's a blend, but I can't say it was like, oh, I learned all
Yeah.
different. Yeah, yeah, but it was good. It's good discipline, and it's good to know that validation is there too, like you said.
Yeah, and it gives you credibility for those people that need to see
Absolutely.
credible whatever, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Certification. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the program you're doing now, Dr. Levine's program, is it
Oh,
or you
yeah, that's a
um,
3-year program. Finished the year one, and then
okay.
there's, um, it's called somatic experiencing.
Mhm.
And so that is, it's really interesting because it's a very, like, I use a lot of somatics in my practice, and
Explain
I
what
don't,
that is for people who are listening who
oh,
may
sure,
not
sure.
who may have seen the
It's
word but not know what it means.
Very well,
Yeah.
very good. So a lot of coaching and therapy is top down, it's brain to body, just to keep it super simple.
Mhm.
And that is about 5% of your power trying to navigate this big 95% of your horsepower. It's brilliant when it works. And it's really, really cool to have that access to the conscious mind and to use our conscious mind to create change. But it can be really challenging to create movement with that. And also, a lot of the time, that top down model, we have a preconceived idea of what should be. So we think it and we try to push it in. But somatics is bottom up. So it's body to brain. And that allows our body to send information to the knowing and the conscious mind that's not preconceived ideas of what should be.
Mm.
It's the felt sense. So when you go through some of these exercises, they might seem so simple, and the ones that I've used that are based in ancestral practices, they're very simple, but they're so profound when you sit and feel what your heart has to say.
Mm.
Last week, I was teaching a live course, and one of the exercises, I had people hold their head. Well, we went through steps to get to the head. And just holding your head in this way, the amount of data that the participants got in that exercise was mind blowing, because most people don't think about it because it seems too simple, and simple is usually not easy, but it's usually where there's a ton of information. And so we move through trying to reconnect the mind and the body. And I'm talking a lot, but there's an old saying that says the longest distance in the world is from the head to the heart.
Mhm.
And when we can create that conversation between the head and the heart, so much opens up for us. And we might not realize what we're holding in our shoulder or in our foot,
Mhm.
So it's really wild to see where things end up getting stored for different people. And we sit and we just try to tune into the body.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's a long answer. Hopefully that explains it a bit.
Oh, I think it does. Yeah. Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. And I would even add to that, that as you're through the work that I've done with a somatic therapist, is like when you're listening and identifying what is in wherever, right? The point isn't to try to get rid of it
Yeah.
consciously, right? It's to sit with it and see what happens to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. We sit with it. We can um, also do different exercises to move it through the body.
mhm.
You could do the
Yeah.
TheraBand and squeeze and just see how that feels.
Mhm.
Is the volume going up or down on that felt sense? So there's ways to mm, experience what's there and honor what's there
Mhm.
without our words.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's actually really important, because we so much of how we try to process things is through stories that we tell ourselves about things that may
Yeah.
or may not be true, right?
Absolutely.
But our body itself knows what's going on, and it keep not to quote Gabor Mate, but I'm going to. The body keeps the score, right, of all of it.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah.
at least I think that's who wrote that. Yeah.
Yeah. You, you definitely get signals back when and if you learn to if you start listening to your body, then you hear it more and more.
Mhm.
And so I think the initial thing is just plugging the head back into the body,
Yeah.
just starting real
Yeah.
simple, like, and then starting to become aware of that conversation. So now I have a client, I can't remember, he's in Australia, and he just told me this week, okay, Ranbir, I put my shoulder was hurting, and I put my hand on it like you told me, and I sat with it and I listened to it, and then I said, "It's okay. It can release it or whatever." And my shoulder pain went away. And I said, "If you had told me this stuff before, I would have thought you were crazy."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that approaching it that way is kind of goes against the viewpoint that I've heard some people a lot in the millennial generation, not to throw any shade at them, but say like their bodies fighting them, right? Like it's their enemy, or that
Right.
they're a victim of it, especially like if you're female and you get really bad cramps and it's like, my body hates me this month. I've heard
Right.
comments like that from people, right? And it's like, no, what's it trying to tell you? It's
Absolutely.
not that it's hating you. It's like,
No.
what kind of diet have you fed it? What kind of, how, what exactly is going on? What's it trying to communicate?
What's it
And
trying to communicate? And sometimes, for example, you might feel pressure in the head and you might have a headache. and maybe it's your body saying you need to go into a dorsal rest state because
Yeah.
it's just it needs you to rest,
Yeah.
and or it needs you to down regulate in some way, and sometimes we have to just put our hands on that uterus and say hello.
Yeah.
What do you have to say? Well,
Yeah.
what are these cramps trying to tell me?
Send it some love.
Send it some
Yeah.
love. Oh my gosh,
As opposed to
absolutely.
hating on it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, and there's a whole theory there, but that's too long to get into today. So we would need we would need that like an hours long podcast that like that lady does laying in the bed. We just talk
Oh
and
yeah.
talk and talk for
Yeah.
hours. Yeah, yeah, we need one of those.
So is this the work that you're doing full time now with clients? Or are you,
Yes,
what are you?
most of my days are with in client work and group work, and but I'm also waiting. We've My husband and I have also developed some products. So we have an sort of food grade spray that you can use for your pain in your body. Just waiting for it's called a natural product number NPN from Health Canada. And so I like
Is it like an
developing.
analgesic or?
It's more of a like a food grade, and you can spray it on your body, and it's really good for pain relief. And
Yeah.
we had developed it for pre and post workout, but it just happens to take people's pain down, which was a big surprise to
Oh,
I'm not probably not a surprise to my husband, surprise to me.
okay.
So we're have products that we're going to move for. Like we started them quite a while ago, and then with the supply chain pause that happened over the lockdowns, and I haven't kind
Mhm.
of got back into it. But now I'm just going to go through this other route. So waiting for Health Canada approval there, and playing around with some natural options for. I've started one for my hair, which has given me more body. So I like having those outlets as well because it's good for my creative
Mhm.
part of me.
How long
And
does the first product take to get through the Health Canada process? I assume it's kind of like the FDA process here
yeah, it's
in the US.
probably a year and a bit, maybe
Okay.
two
Here it can
years.
take a few years. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And technically, you can sell it without, and we did. It's that we want to make health claims,
Mhm.
and so if you would like to make a health claim, then you need that number, which
Okay.
maybe
Yeah.
it'll be coming in any day. Who knows?
Oh, nice.
And
What's the name of the product if people
right
want to
now,
look for it?
it's called Relief.
Okay.
And so we're rebranding that. And then I also created one called Bedtime, which has helped my clients get off sleeping medication with the help of their doctors. And then we phase, and
Hmm.
it's also dermal. And so that, and then building an app as well in the parenting space. So I like have my hands in a few little areas. Yeah.
And what does the app do in the parenting space, if you're willing to say?
That I'm not gonna say, but
Okay.
it's in the parenting space. I've had the idea for now going on 12 years. I'm finally doing something with it. So,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So you're in the
I
process of
wanted
building
to.
it, or
Pardon?
are you in the process of building it like already, the coding and
Yes.
everything, or okay.
Yeah, process of building. Yeah, my goal was to, and I also have an app called Today I Practice, so that one's like a mind habits app.
And
I
that one's already released.
That's already
Okay.
released. So it's kind of like the inspiration is cards, but it's mind habits versus affirmations because the mind has a negativity bias. So if we keep giving it affirmations,
Yeah.
after a while it says, "You are a liar." I
Yeah.
don't know. And so I think of that line from Princess Bride with anyway, that's where that
Yeah.
comes into my mind. So the mind habits help you build self trust. So that you flip through cards and then you just pick a card and it'll give you a mind habit for the day. So that content was reaching like 36 to 40 million people the year that I was writing it every week. It was really a big hit.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've paused that for a couple of years because it was going so fast and I needed to focus on Asher was still in high school. So I wanted to keep that focus, and he
Mhm.
graduated in June. So now mama's letting loose.
Yeah.
So writing again and doing all sorts of things. Yeah.
So today's daily habit can be found at the App Store and Google Play.
Yes. Yeah. It's called
And
Today I Practice.
Today I practice. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Don't
Yeah.
worry. It is a daily mind habit, so that's a good way to shorten it for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's on the App Store and it's on Android as well.
Okay. So today I practice. We'll put a plug in there for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then it's got I think it's a 396 frequency behind it. So you can read it or you can listen to my voice with the binaural beat
Oh, okay. So
attached to it.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
and if anybody does that, they need earbuds for both ears, and it's
Yes.
got a heart frequency. So, or close
Yeah.
to a heart frequency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the manifestation one,
Yeah.
I think. If I remember, I've done it so long ago, I can't even remember.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
And so, what else are you up to?
Oh my
Anything
God.
else? Yeah.
Yes. Well, through work, I've just right now. Well, I mentioned to you offline. I'm testing a course that I'm creating, hopefully for other therapists and coaches, and running through the first dry run of it. And it's called Rewriting Your Story. But it's really not. It's really about going in and looking at it from a micro level, and giving super simplistic, realistic tools that you could actually apply to audit that inner dialogue and understand what it is that you've created in your life and be able to take responsibility for it. And so we have, I think, 70 women in that right now. And so I'm doing that and
Wait,
we've
is,
only done 1 week, but it's been amazing.
so you have 70 women, but the course is not just for women, right?
No, no, sorry, you're right.
No,
Yeah,
yeah, it's
it's definitely not,
gender
and
neutral.
it's
Right?
definitely, and actually, about half my clients are males, and
Mhm.
so I'm a mom of boys, so I definitely always take them into consideration
Mhm.
to make sure it is something that could apply to anyone, and it's very neutral, and but it is that process of uncovering, and it's progressive. So week two will build on
Mhm.
week one, and so on and
Yeah.
so forth. So it's good for me to get my stuff in writing.
And is the end goal to continue doing a live class, or will it eventually be self-directed?
I think I like the idea of the live at least once a week because for now anyway, because I really feel we're craving community and connection and where humans can come together and hear each other's voices that are just something so beautiful about that, even though it's on Zoom.
Mhm.
But the connection that's already building is so neat. And one group already has their own WhatsApp chat.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yes, and so they shared, one of them shared with me yesterday that they've used some of the prompts that I shared in the week in the chat, and it's really neat.
And they
And
set up the chat, not
they
you.
set up their own
Okay.
chat. We have a
Yeah.
community,
Yeah.
and I said, "Would you mind sharing in the community? Let's get everybody kind of on this train." But it's new; it's only a
Uh-huh.
weekend. But I think that human connection is so needed. So for now, I definitely will stick with the live training.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
beautiful that you have that many people in your beta version.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I hadn't I didn't even put it out to my email list, or I was just I thought I was inviting a handful of people.
But they
Yeah.
told it's like that the old shampoo commercials, or they tell their friends and they tell their friends and
Yes.
they tell
Yeah.
their
Oh,
friends.
remember that? She told
Yeah.
her friends. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
That's kind of what happened here. And again, it's part of that creating connection and support because people are really struggling at all
Mhm.
levels. So it feels really good to be with them. And then during the week, they have they get a journal, and they probably think, "Who's this crazy lady? She gave us a 30-page journal," but that's because there's space to write.
Uh-huh.
So if you want to print it and write in it,
Yeah.
you can. So there's a daily prompts and exercises, and then just one day for integration. So that's kind of how I've set it up.
Well, and I mean, 30 pages isn't much for the amount of weeks you're doing for the course,
Oh, no,
especially if they're having to
that's
do.
for week
Oh,
one.
for week one. Okay.
But I
Those
created
are four or
space to
five pages a
answer.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, space to answer the prompts,
Mhm.
and then there's space for drawings and stuff like that. So
And is it just for them, or is it on an online version where you actually have access to other people's things?
it's just for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I could manage 70 reviews
No.
with my schedule right now.
Well, Plus, I would think it's more important for them to do the work for themselves, right?
Absolutely.
Than yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
And then the live training and then check-ins and the
mhm,
community. Yeah, it's all there. Lots of support.
yeah. Well, it
Yeah.
sounds like you're very busy.
You know what's interesting? I don't feel busy per se.
Yeah,
I feel content in the sense that I'm, moving into this new phase of my life where I don't have sporting events to attend, which I really miss.
mhm.
I love sports, but
Your own sporting or your
no,
son's
my
sporting?
boys just to
Yeah.
watch. Yeah, so that's a new phase of life. My youngest, he could have played university rugby, but he's focusing on school, so he didn't take that.
Mhm.
But so it's a new adjustment for me too.
Yeah.
It's 17 years of later of activities, and
Yeah.
so this is interesting. So it's actually like not as busy of a pace as it normally has been.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
Well,
neat.
and there's some beauty in that, right? Because it gives you space to do other things or
Yeah,
to rest more,
yeah.
depending on the day and what you need.
I need to learn that. I meditate and I do all those good things, so that helps me a lot. I was playing around. I don't use AI much, but I was playing around on AI and I heard of something called Gene Keys, which I didn't know what that
Oh yeah.
was. And so I put in my information and I laughed so hard because it says your challenge. Mine is to learn to rest.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, this is accurate. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The gene keys is really rather interesting, I think.
It was
Um,
so
yeah.
interesting, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not I didn't actually I thought I don't know why, I didn't know that much about it, and, I found it very fascinating to go through what it had to say and its reflections, and
Mhm.
again, you take everything with through the lens of being a critical thinker,
Yeah.
and, just it was very neat. That was one that made me laugh out loud, and my husband said, "Well, you've gotten better at it," so that was good.
Yeah.
That was a good, thing to hear.
Well, you said you played sports. What sport do you like to play?
Basketball.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm 5'10". Basketball, volleyball, and I like to run,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
I haven't had it, played myself that much. I shoot hoops with my boys,
Yeah.
and then I started to learn tennis, and I didn't get much of it this summer, and I just, and the boys are really into golf right now, so I used to do a lot at the driving range, so I think I might get back to that.
Are your
Yeah.
boys tall?
Yes.
No. Okay. How
Yeah.
tall are they?
6'4" and 6'2" ish,
Oh,
six
okay.
two, six
Yeah.
three. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
have a 6'5" stepson, so I
Wow,
know what
yeah,
that's like. Yeah. Yeah.
those feeding them is really
Yeah.
something else
Feeding them and finding clothes that
that fit
have the
them.
right length.
Yeah,
Right.
the leg
Yeah.
length is
Yeah.
is oof, yeah.
Even the sleeve length sometimes is not.
That's true
Yeah.
too. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's these are the things that actually take up mental bandwidth.
Yeah.
Right? People don't realize,
Yeah.
you want your kid to look good and then the pants are 3 inches too short and then
Yeah.
yeah.
And what we found was there was only specific brands that made pants in long enough lengths, like a 36. My
Yes,
stepson was wearing a 36-inch inseam, and
same.
finding that it was like a needle in a haystack sometimes.
It is
But
really
yeah,
it is really Hollister has them.
and
Listen to me, I'm
especially
gonna
if you have a skinny waist.
yes,
Yeah,
they have thin waists and long legs, so
yeah,
I've learned to search as well for
yeah,
the inseam.
yeah,
Yeah, I have the same problem with my sleeves in particular. I have really long arms.
yeah. So
Yeah, so
you can empathize with your son
I
for
definitely
that.
can. I definitely
Yeah.
can. Yeah.
Is your husband tall?
Yes, he is. Well, I mean, I guess, yeah, he's 6'2".
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we're,
Mm, yeah.
decently tall. Not NBA tall.
No.
Yeah, but decent. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you have every time I do this show, I ask somebody for either if they have a favorite quote about love, if they have a favorite song about love, or if they just have advice about love. Do you have any of that
Oh,
that you
interesting.
could offer to other people?
Interesting. About love.
Yeah,
Mm. Ooh, I would say I can't think of a quote offhand, which
yeah,
is
that's
ironic.
fine.
But because I love quotes and such. But one of the things I learned about love is that it's not always enough. And so when I analyze the idea of love, it quite often, we experience the greatest highs and the greatest lows through love. And so if we're building towards love, what can we start with? I start with like, because the people I like, I treat them a certain way, or not just me, everybody. When we like somebody, we really show up. And so, starting with trying to learn to like yourself, learning to like your loved ones. And from there, then you can move into this genuine, authentic, unconditional love. And so sometimes I feel like love, we take it for granted and we don't work as hard at it as we do at friendship. So why not apply the same level of energy and focused attention on the people that we love? And again, attention is the most basic form of love.
Mhm.
And so pausing, listening, eye contact, active listening. I posted on Instagram a couple of years ago. I'd seen it. It wasn't my own thought, but somebody had put two ears together, and I said, "Oh my gosh, that looks like a heart to me." And so when we actively listen, we're
Yeah,
making that heart with our ears,
that's beautiful.
right?
Yeah,
Like, so don't make love so complex. Simplify it into liking and then work up to it. Because when you like people, you want to hang out with them.
that's true.
You want to
That's
help them.
true.
It's such so I use that lens more than anything.
I like that. I like
Thank
that
you.
advice.
Thank you. And I'll
It
think of a quote in the middle of the night tonight, Jill. That's what's gonna happen.
That's what happens to all of us, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If people who are watching this want to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to do so?
They can reach out to me through the website, which is pureatma.com, pureatma.com. It'll lead to the site.
Mhm.
And then you can also find me on social media. Most of the places I'm under my name, Ranbir Puar. I think Instagram might have an underscore or something like that.
Okay.
But I'm trying to. I've had a bit of a pause on social media, but I'm getting back in there again now. Getting
Yeah.
back in the game. Yeah, but
Especially if
websites
you're
usually.
increasing your app.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 So websites usually the best way to get the contact info either way. The links to the socials are all there.
Nice. And is your app, does it have a monthly fee or is it just a flat fee or is
It
it
should be a
free?
flat fee.
Flat fee?
It
Okay.
should be because I
Okay.
don't like subscriptions. Well, not that I
Okay.
don't like them. I apologize. I shouldn't say that. I feel this maybe because I'm a 70s baby, right? I feel this
Yeah.
resistance.
Yeah.
If I'm unless the app developer that I hired changed something, it should just be a one-time fee.
One time fee. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm with you because I think like so much has changed to a subscription model
Yes.
that people have lost track of what they've subscribed to and how much money it's costing them.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And,
And again, for me, the model is the idea of a deck.
mhm.
And so if I was to buy this in a deck, I would buy that deck once.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so when I do another release of it, then they could buy they could buy it again and so on and so forth. Eventually, what my goal is for 2026 is to put it all into a book. Today I practice for the year in a
Oh,
book form.
nice.
Yeah, I'll talk to
So
you about that.
one one per day for so
One
365
per
of
day
them.
for the year. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I'm working on for the year ahead.
And we can do a quarter of a day for the leap year.
Right? Yeah, we'll have to throw in the leap year one. My birthday is February 28th. I was
Oh,
not a
yeah.
leap year baby, but
Yeah.
I can empathize with the leap year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand that. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Is
Yeah.
there anything else you'd like to say that you haven't or we haven't covered?
Oh my gosh. Hey, we could spend hours and days together because I love talking to you.
Oh, thank you.
I can't think of anything other than thank you for having me on, and I'm excited to. I was that I got to spend time with you and to chat,
Thank
and
you.
and yeah, it's been fun.
And thank you for being willing to spend your time with us. I
Thank you,
appreciate it.
thank you.